Hey there, I am super glad you're here. Today, on this episode of Every Kind of I Do, we are going to go through some weirdo couples love stories, all different kinds of inspirations. I have got so many things that we're going to be going through in this series, and we're just going to keep on going, keep on going. And I got my weirdo shirt on today, Weirdos Unite. And, this series is about the moments I get to photograph. Amazing, cool people, cool concepts, inspiration. This is for the couples that are planning. This is for people that just want to think differently. We're here for it. So let's get into this next episode. So, what you're going to be seeing here is a very unique circumstance. Okay. I'm going to go over the premise of this inspiration is literally a surprise wedding at the Garden of the Gods. Okay. There's a huge story behind it that I'll share like a little bit about it, but this is something that is very unique to I just happened to be in the right place at the right time. So what I want to share is my friend Sarah who she passed away last year, and there ended up being a surprise wedding at her like she was sort of doing a going away party before her diagnosis got worse, okay? So she was doing a going away party the year before that. And her daughter decided to do a surprise, let's get married kind of a scenario. So this is that scenario where all of us came together to support her and love on her. And then we also got to celebrate this surprise wedding. So I want to go over what I see in these photos, but also kind of tell you a little bit about what we witnessed at the Garden of the Gods. So we'll call this like it's basically a surprise wedding. It was not really an elopement. There was a lot of people there. There was a lot of varieties of people there. There was a lot of family that came in. There was a lot of wedding pro friends, a lot of us that came together and kind of like sat with her in this space and then just loved on her and the family. So in this respect, I love the fact that it is all about the tattoos going on in this photo. Your eyes kind of go straight to the shoulders and the arms. We had our good friend Jackie kind of made a little bouquet at the last minute with some natural and fallen flowers from the area. And we just kind of put some things together that, as wedding pros, you do what you do because you're passionate about it. And the planners out there, the photographers out there, all of us visual artists as well as designers, we know how to bring something together at the last minute. So it felt right to just kind of have these moments of just celebration and having little trinkets like this. So the one of the first things you're going to see is, of course, beautiful smiles, and you're going to see the tattoos and then also this beautiful headpiece that she's wearing. It's a really beautiful, I believe it goes all the way around. Um, just a beautiful metal garland with a beautiful stone right here. And as you can see, it is a lovely, lovely, cute little white dress. It looks like a little bit of a corset top. I'll be zooming out in just a second. And then, of course, her partner. Lovely, lovely black leather jacket mixed with all this amazing jewelry and tattoos as well. And overall, just a lovely, beautiful time. Now, mind you, this is happening in sort of the fall time in Colorado, where it literally, I felt like we had like three different seasons in 1 second. It felt really warm 1 second, it snowed the next, and then the clouds parted and it felt like spring again. It was so interesting. So if you've never been to Garden of the Gods, you're going to see a couple of photos in a minute that kind of showcase what it was. So we have some details. Look at these crisp, crisp flowers. Just lovely. I believe we put a mixture of faux flowers as well as some dried flowers. And then also the jewelry. We have the black nail polish. We have the wedding rings are here. We've got little tattoos. We've got medium tattoos, and just a variety of different style happening in this photo. And I just really love, this is very timeless for me. When I look at images like this, I'm not thinking about seasons. I'm not thinking of themes. I'm just thinking about two people that got married. So, a little bit about a Garden of the Gods. There is a whole hotel and there's like a restaurant. There's this whole overlook right near, kind of looks over the Garden of the Gods. And this is towards the It had been snowing a little bit, then the clouds parted again. And so this is kind of like you can still see a little bit of the cloudy haze happening over the mountains over there and all of the structures that are in this park area. But you can actually drive down inside of it, drive around it. It's got beautiful stones and rocks and things like that. But this view, you can't really describe it unless you've been there. And I think that it was so easy for those of us enjoying this time for after the wedding ceremony happened and everybody's excited and we're doing a handful of photos for them and the family. And I'm kind of sort of doing the second shooter aspect where I'm kind of shooting some candids and I'm just kind of like we're both kind of following along and doing some photos. So I love the fact that they're just kind of taking it in right now. And actually what you don't know is happening. There's also a drone photographer, videographer doing a drone at somewhat the same time, kind of around this vicinity too, while they're kind of hanging out. So I thought that was kind of fun. You know what? And I don't even know if I've seen that footage or not, but I'm sure it was awesome. Because there's something about pulling back really wide to get that landscape. You know, remember I was talking about this in a different episode where sometimes the landscape should be part of your memory too. And so I know that I pulled back as far as I could at the moment, and I wanted to get as much as I could. But I also know that it was so dreamy and quiet and just lovely. And there was music going on, there was yummy food, there was all kinds of things. And this is just a lovely moment that I feel captured what was going on. I don't remember what she was laughing about, but being that it was a very emotional time for many of the family and just not because of the wedding, but because of our friend and celebrating her life and celebrating love. And I really loved and appreciated this moment with the couple because I know it was difficult. There was a lot of difficult things happening and then a lot of difficult things that happened afterwards. So I'd like to think that of this as like a little time capsule of finding joy in those hard times. This brings me joy to look at. I know my friend has passed away now, but I also know that it I wouldn't redo this over again. This is, in other words, I don't want to like relive it. I think it was beautiful just the way it was. And I think how she celebrated her life was exactly how she wanted it. And that includes these moments here with this surprise wedding at the Garden of the Gods. So, if you've never visited that area of Colorado, I highly recommend it. It's in the Colorado Springs area. The other time I had been there was for a photography convention, so I had already kind of been there before in a way, but I had not viewed it from this perspective, and nor had I been around a lot of friends and wedding pros at the same time experiencing this. And so I like to think of this image as joy and laughter, and even in the hard times, we find love, you know, is one of those things that keeps us going. And loving people can be so hard because we love them so much and we don't ever want them to leave. And these photos kind of take me right back. And I'm just so thankful for that. So I hope you enjoyed the inspiration from the Garden of the Gods. But I also know that when you're planning your wedding or getaway or elopement, whatever, um, if you want to throw something together last minute, do it. Especially if you have no expectations and you're just happy and thankful. Throw something together and have a minute. Call up your friends and family and say, "Hey, meet me here at this time in this space, and we're just going to celebrate and we're going to make this happen." I think this is probably my second surprise wedding. The other one I had was just kind of like they showed up into a living room and they got married in the living room. And then here we showed up and get married in this luscious landscape of awesomeness. So, this is Jen with Every Kind of I Do, and I look forward to seeing you on the next episode because we have a lot more to talk about, y'all. Talk to you later.